Welcome to the Masterminds of the Multiverse podcast. My name is Ryan, and this podcast is all about superheroes. We will be talking about everything from movies to video games to creating our own comic book series. Tune in to gain more superhero knowledge and get inspired to create something awesome. Okay, we are live on the Masterminds of the Multiverse podcast. I am here with Tyler. Tyler, thank you so much for being here.
Hello. Hello, Ryan. How are you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Pretty hungry right now.
Pretty hungry right now? Well, that Chipotle looks good.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
Yeah. Okay, great. So, let's talk about the MCU in general, because when the MCU first started, the first movie came out, which is Iron Man 1 in 2008, I was only 4 years old. Obviously too young to see a movie like that.
What was your first MCU movie in the theater?
My first MCU movie I ever saw was the first Avengers.
You saw that in the movie theater?
The
first Avengers?
Yeah.
In the movie theater?
Mm-hmm.
And that was your very first?
That was my very first movie.
Ever? For the MCU?
For the MCU, yes. And, yeah, that was good. And then...
So what made you... That was the one that made you, what was it about it that made you just start watching them all?
I think it was just my family. We were all into superheroes, and my friends at school were all, we were all into big Marvel fans. And it kind of became a trend to see every single one of them because there were so many of them. There's 25 of them now. So you just, I just felt like I had to see every single one. It felt like a goal to me. And then eventually when I, as I got older, in 8th grade, that's when the Avengers Endgame came out. That was, from what I can remember, the biggest movie that ever came out in that year, 2019.
Dang, I was in 8th grade when Iron Man 1 came out.
Damn. Yeah.
And that's, I remember when that came out and Incredible Hulk was going to come out next. People were like, yeah, they're connected. They're going to be connected. And then at the end of the movie, when you saw Iron Man, that's, I remember everyone, all my friends were we were freaking out about that.
I know, yeah. It's crazy what the superhero genre of film can, do it. It gets you all excited and pumped up for the next one. But yeah, I remember when I was in 8th grade, we were all talking about, because Infinity War, it came out the year before, and I went to go see that one in the theater. It was great. Sad, but it was a sad movie, but it was good. And it just left me so hyped for the next one because it was the first real movie where I've seen the bad guy win, because usually it's always the good guys win. You root for the good guys, and the good guys always win. But in this case, it was the bad guy that won, and Thanos, collected all Infinity Stones, did exactly what he said he was going to do, and then snapped half the universe out of existence. So, and I was just waiting a long time for the next one, which
not to bring this to Star Wars, but I guess that's what happens in Star Wars all the time.
Yes, yeah.
The
I
bad guy
agree.
wins.
The bad guy wins. You saw that in
Empire.
Empire Strikes Back.
Even in, well, I guess you could say in Revenge of the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
The bad guy won.
Yeah. Revenge of the Sith. I think that was everybody's favorite. Revenge of the Sith.
I'm a big, not to get off topic, but I'm a big Phantom Menace guy.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, Marvel has, I feel like I don't know if this is controversial but this is my opinion. I feel like all Marvel movies
Uh-huh.
are just all the same.
Yeah,
they're not.
that's fair.
I don't feel
Yeah.
like they're good or bad. They're not like the greatest movie ever, but they're not the worst thing ever.
No. Mm.
I just feel like people, even with Star Wars now, I feel like people take it way too seriously.
Yeah, I agree. Even before the MCU was created, you had all these other Marvel movies and shows before that, and nobody really, people became excited about them, but like the MCU was different. So it's like, where?
It's very, before the MCU, you didn't expect, you just saw Spider-Man, you just saw X-Men, you didn't expect them to ever
Right.
meet.
Yeah.
And I think the MCU, for what it is, that really changed. It really made no, you should put all the characters together.
Mm-hmm.
They're all their own individual person, and they can all interact.
Right. And I think with, hey, gentlemen, did your dream girl break your heart at dinner like mine did? Well, come on down to Ryan's Dumpster Flowers. If you got thrown in the dumpster, the perfect gift for your ex is some dead flowers. We got everything from the dead daisies to the disgusting dandelions. Get the revenge that you deserve at Ryan's Dumpster Flowers. DC, too, if we want to go into DC.
What was your very first DC movie?
Very first DC movie, honestly, I think it started. My first movie was probably Batman from 1989 with Michael Keaton,
Mhm.
Jack Nicholson, and that was good. But I didn't think. I thought Jack Nicholson was a great Joker, but I think he wasn't scary enough.
It was very 80s.
It was. Uh-huh.
I would say, I think the very first one I saw was Batman and Robin, the one with George Clooney.
Yeah.
And I will say, I still like that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So
not good.
you're not really a part of the crowd that says that movie was terrible, because all of my friends' family, they hated it.
No, it's just because I also watched the 1960s Batman.
Yeah.
That one, I watched that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's very just, Batman isn't serious or scary. He's just a man in a bat costume.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's what Batman and Robin is for the 90s.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say, again, it's not the best movie ever made. But I won't say it's the worst. It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad. I agree. I totally agree. I mean, I've watched it many times. I think I've enjoyed it.
Especially if you watch all four of those Batman movies.
Mm-hmm.
Just if you think of them as a weird quadrilogy, it's very funny to think oh yeah, I believe this.
Yeah.
This guy was all scary and spooky and sad that Joker killed his parents,
Yeah.
and now he's running around with the grown man,
Mm-hmm.
and he has a credit card and stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Who do you think was the best Batman, the best actor that played Batman? From the 60s all the way till now. Because I know that I saw the Robert Pattinson Batman movie from 2023.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was great.
I will say, I think that's the best Batman movie.
You think so?
Yeah.
The one with Robert Pattinson?
I don't like Batman Begins, but I do like Dark Knight. Dark Knight is probably is just by itself a good movie. If Batman was just like a guy, and he was like trying to save the day, and I think it was good, but I don't really think it's a good Batman movie. You know what I mean? Like if he was just like didn't wear a bat suit and he was just a guy trying to stop this crazy guy, I'd kind of like that. It's almost kind of like Die Hard.
Yeah.
In that kind of way.
Yeah, and have you seen the Joker movie? Not the new one, but the old one.
With the Joaquin Phoenix one?
With Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Bad, was it?
Well, once again, this is the opposite. It's not really Joker. He's just a guy.
Yeah. They even changed up his name.
Yeah.
From the comics, didn't they?
Yeah, it's like Arthur.
Arthur, yeah.
What is his name in the comics now?
Jack Napier.
No, I think that's just for Batman 89.
Yeah, that was his name in Batman 89.
But I don't think in the comics, I don't think they really. Okay, let's not talk about comics. People are going to call us out on that.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay.
But yeah, I saw it. What did you think of the Joker?
What did I think of Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah.
Joker. I thought he portrayed Joker very well. I mean, he did a phenomenal job acting. But the movie itself just really wasn't for me.
He's like, I could believe that is Joker's origin, but at the same time, then I just don't see him fighting Batman or being like Batman's rival. I don't really see that.
It's kind of just a silly story of the Joker. It's just a guy.
And did you see Joker 2?
No.
Yeah, I didn't see it. It looked bad. It looked way worse than the first one.
Yeah, I'm not even going to give it a chance.
No.
And then to bring it back to Marvel, this summer, a big blockbuster movie came out, which was Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
You saw that one?
Yes.
What were your thoughts?
It was very good.
It was. I have to say mainly because they finally gave Wolverine his real costume.
True.
Because, in all the other past movies, Logan, he just wore a tank top.
That is true.
Yeah, he never wore his actual yellow costume and his mask. And this movie, he actually wore the costume.
He wore the mask.
Yeah, he wore the mask.
Yeah, the mask was good. I don't know. I feel like hopefully they don't overdo it again, because of this, it was so successful that I feel like they're probably gonna do something again.
I think so too.
And I feel like that might ruin it, but I do really like the. What did you think about all the Deadpools? I didn't really like all the Deadpools.
Like all the
like at the end when they're all
at the end, I thought that was funny. Like, where the two of them teamed up against all of those Deadpools.
Yeah.
I thought that was, not only I thought it was epic, but I mean, it was very funny as well.
Yeah, I feel like they're just generic Deadpools. I feel like the only there's there's Lady Deadpool, there's Cowboy Deadpool. It's just I feel like they didn't go that crazy with it. I feel like they should have gone. Because it's Deadpool. He's
yeah. Kind of like the Spider-Verse a little bit. There's the Spider-Verse of all the Spider-Men. There's all the Deadpools too.
Yeah, I feel like even the Spider-Verse, those different Spider-Men, those they went crazier than just all the Deadpools. Because I feel like none of the Deadpools really were like that different,
Yeah, true. And what do you think of the beginning? Because I'm going to be completely honest, I haven't seen the other two Deadpool movies.
You haven't seen the other two Deadpool movies?
Yeah.
Oh my God. They're completely different than Wolverine.
Yeah. Yeah, because this one is a little different. I think.
This one is technically, I feel like this one kind of connect. Like besides having all the characters in the beginning, those were all his friends from the first one.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the other two movies really,
Yeah.
and you can really tell it's like, oh yeah, now we're in the MCU.
Yes.
Like before, in the first two Dead movies, he did a lot more references to the Deadpool comics.
Mm-hmm.
But in this one, he does a lot more references to the MCU, which I like. It's like, it gives it a different feeling.
Yeah.
But they're way more, I feel like I do like 2 more than 1 for Deadpool. 2 is very, he gets ripped in half by the Juggernaut.
I did see that scene.
Yeah, you did.
I think my favorite scene for Deadpool and Wolverine, honestly, I think was the beginning. Where he's, the song "Bye Bye Bye" by NSYNC.
Oh yeah.
And he's using
the dead body.
Wolverine's corpse to fight.
Now, did you see Logan?
See, I see Logan.
Yeah.
I did not.
Oh well, that's a major spoiler for Logan.
Yeah. I didn't see a lot of the X-Men movies. I saw X-Men Apocalypse. I saw Days of Future Past. I saw.
The very first X-Men movie was the very first Marvel movie I've ever saw.
The very first X-Men.
Yeah, like from 2000.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the very first. And then I will say, movie X-Men are kind of lame.
It just doesn't have.
They made it too. The mutants are supposed to be these weird freaks, and they made them too like normal.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, we're like superheroes in a team, and that they're just kind of. And then because of X-Men, Wolverine wasn't even like the main X-Men, I would say, but because of X-Men 2000, he got Hugh Jackman, making him so popular that.
Yeah, I think they made Cyclops and Jean Grey the main X-Men.
Yeah, those two are usually the main.
Yeah,
and mostly Cyclops, but yeah, those two are.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it follows Cyclops more in the comics, but yeah, once Wolverine became like Hugh Jackman made him so popular, he kind of just took over X-Men.
Yeah. So, yeah, with this, I thought it was a great movie, Deadpool and Wolverine. I thought they had a lot of, references to the comics, and then they made it, they appealed to the audience. They made it so what the audience would want to see. Like they had a bunch of other X-Men in there. With they had Gambit, they had Blade.
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 Well, Blade's not really an X-Men, but
yeah, I guess not.
Elektra, X-23.
Yeah, Elektra and X-23 were in there.
What is your favorite MC movie?
Oh, that's a no-brainer. Avengers Endgame.
What is your worst?
The worst? Iron Man 2.
Whoa. Damn. Oh, can we swear on this thing?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, okay.
I just thought Iron Man 2 was boring. I liked the ending a lot, but it just dragged on and on and on.
So you think you like Hulk more than Iron Man 2?
Yeah.
Wow, growing up, that would have been controversial. When I was in high school and stuff, everyone would say, yeah, Hulk's the worst one, Hulk's the worst one.
Hulk's the worst, yeah.
But yeah, I'd say my favorite is actually, I'd go Civil War.
Civil War?
Yeah.
That was, there's really no super villain in that movie, I guess.
No.
It was more, Captain America versus Iron Man and the teams. I think Captain America and Iron Man are kind of the rivals of Marvel. Like where DC, it's Batman and Superman.
Mm-hmm. And even before the MCU, it would have been just Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Spider-Man and Hulk probably.
Spider-Man and Hulk, yeah.
And then, but because of MCU, it's all Iron Man, all Captain America.
Uh-huh. And wasn't that Tom Holland's very first appearance as Spider-Man in Civil War?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
'cause
okay, ask me this. Answer me this. Are you Batman or Superman guy?
Batman,
Are you Iron Man or Captain American guy?
Iron Man.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm Superman, Captain America guy.
Oh, so you're complete opposite.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I like Batman better. Just, you know, he's got all the cool gadgets. He's got, you know, all the vehicles. Superman's cool too. You know, they changed him a lot over the years, and not just in the movies, but in the comics and the games and all that. You know, I think even in the games, in the video games, like Injustice 2, they made him evil.
True.
That's
I mean, well, in the comics they made Captain America evil.
Yeah.
They made him like Captain Hydra or whatever.
Captain Hydra, yeah. Similar to a Red Skull.
Yeah, I think like Red Skull like brainwashed him, and then he was kind of like a spy. He was still pretending to be Captain America, but then eventually he took over.
For Superman, you know, I think it worked out pretty well having him, you know, evil in that game. It created a nice story, a nice gameplay. But but in the movie Batman and Superman, which have you seen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll just say this right now. I've seen every comic book movie ever made.
Every single one.
Yeah, ask me any comic book movie, I've seen it.
Okay. What did you think of Batman versus Superman?
I thought...
Was it like really lame or really good? Or?
It was okay.
It was okay.
I feel like if they're setting up the fight, them like being mad at each other, it was kind of bad and kind of like I feel like you could have done better, because I feel like definitely Superman would have like he would have talked about it more instead of just going straight to being like mad at Batman, you know.
Yeah.
But I will say I do like once Doomsday comes, I do like the whole ending of that.
Yeah, then Wonder Woman shows up.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the whole fight between Batman and Superman. I really enjoyed that. It didn't last very long, but
no, I wasn't. Even when it came out, I wasn't expecting it to last long either.
Yeah.
I knew because I think, did they show Doomsday in the trailer? Because I feel like once they showed Doomsday in the trailer, I'm like, oh, they're just gonna fight him.
Yeah, right. Now, one thing that I didn't like as much is when the two of them ended the fight. Batman won, as you saw in the movie, and I think Batman decides not to kill Superman because he says
because of his mom.
Because he says Martha.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, what do you think? Is that
now this could be controversial. I think that was good.
You think, really?
Yeah, I didn't mind that. I thought it was actually kind of.
A lot of people didn't like that.
No, yeah, everyone hated it.
Yeah, everyone hated it.
But I thought it was kind of because Batman is all about his mom and his dad.
True.
That's the whole.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason why he's Batman.
Because they were murdered by Joker, right?
And I feel like now this I have to look up, but I don't. I definitely know Superman's mom name is Martha.
Yeah, that is both of their. Well, his Earth mom's name is Martha.
But I don't know technically. I technically don't know what his Batman's mom's name is in the comic. But I feel like that is very weird if it is that they're both Martha.
Yeah. Thomas and Martha Wayne were the parents.
But so you hated it?
I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I thought that was a lame reason to end a fight, but I can understand why.
I guess how it Batman did just kind of go, what? Like that was kind of lame, but I do like the concept of him being like, you got to save her And
right.
he,
Yeah.
but him like snapping out of it and being like, "Oh, what?" It was like he was like almost like in a he was so blinded by rage that he couldn't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
He was like he couldn't think.
Now, going way back to the 60s, what do you think, what did you like about the TV series of Batman, of Adam West and Burt Ward, all those guys?
It was silly. It wasn't
Yeah.
serious.
It was more made for kids, I think.
It was definitely, because in the 1950s, 1960s, they made like a rule where you couldn't show blood and violence and stuff in comics.
Yeah.
So they made Batman really silly, and then so when they made the Batman show, they made him really silly like that.
When I was a kid, I would watch the show all the time. Like when it came on TV, I bought the DVDs. I was a big fan. They even made a movie.
Yep.
Which I liked.
I saw that movie. Yep.
Yeah, I think Adam West played a good Batman.
Yeah, he did.
But the only thing I didn't like was the costumes. I know in the 60s they didn't have
that was the best they could do.
Yeah, that was the best they could do in the 60s, but today Batman's all armored up, and so is Robin. But back then you just wear a costume.
But yeah, even so when you watch the Batman cartoon?
The Batman, I haven't seen too many cartoons.
Oh, okay.
To tell you the truth.
But even like when he's in the cartoon or in the comics, he's just wearing a suit. He's not like armored up or anything.
Mm-hmm. I think they made that for the special for the movies.
Yeah, and today. I don't understand. Well, I guess Ben Affleck's Batman is it looks kind of more like a suit.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I think so.
It's not really like armored. Like you don't see armor plates. It's kind of like.
Yeah. Well, Michael Keaton in the 80s, his was more rubber. Like,
yeah.
It wasn't.
Batman, it wasn't cloth.
Yeah. It wasn't cloth. In the 60s, Adam West wore a cloth costume.
Yeah. But he wasn't really. I mean, to be fair, like no one was shooting him or stabbing him.
Yeah. No, there was. It was just mainly fist fights, and those fist fights are iconic. You had the Batman music and all the words, pow, wham, smash, all that stuff. And but in that show, they didn't just have some of the villains from DC, Joker, Riddler, Penguin, Catwoman. They had all those villains, but they also had ones that were not from the comics at all, that they made up just for the show.
Yeah, like the Pharaoh guy.
King Tut.
Yep, King Tut.
King Tut, Shame.
Yeah, because you couldn't do. But I feel like a lot of them, like, they got retconned into comics now.
Yeah.
Like Condiment Man and stuff like that.
Yes, and they didn't have Mr. Freeze. Oh, no, they did have Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, I think Mr. Freeze technically came from 1960 Batman and then went into comics and then became popular.
Yeah, true. They had like 3 different actors for Mr. Freeze, and I thought the first one was really bad, but the other 2 were great. And but yeah, as years passed by, they kept on making Batman better or look better, on his appearance.
They made him for the time.
Yeah, true. And for Spider-Man, to take it to Spider-Man,
what was your first Spider-Man in theaters?
First Spider-Man,
I'm guessing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield.
It was either that one or the first one. I don't remember exactly, but with Andrew Garfield, played a good Spider-Man. I saw one. The first one is the one where he battled the lizard, right? Mm-hmm. And then
Electro in the second.
And wasn't Rhino in one of them?
Yeah, he was in the second for like a minute.
Yeah, it was just landing at the very end. And I thought those were good. And Tobey Maguire, Those ones were good too. Those ones had different villains: the Green Goblin, Sandman, Venom, Doc Ock, and wasn't there one more?
No, I think. Well, you had Hobgoblin,
Yeah,
but that was I wouldn't really say he was called New Goblin.
Harry Osborn.
Yeah.
But and then you got to Tom Holland with the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Everything changed. The Spider-Man Homecoming. You had the Vulture, played by Michael Keaton.
Again.
Yeah, and then we went, and then they decided to keep making those movies, and
Do you like Tom Holland Spider-Man?
I do. Yeah,
Yeah, he's good.
he plays him very well. And then there's the
Okay, well, speaking of, what do you think about No Way Home?
No Way Home.
Yeah. Did you like that one?
I did. I really liked the creativity they did with the villains. Mysterio was the villain, but they didn't make it just him.
Mhm.
They had all of his creations: the water elemental, the fire elemental,
Yeah.
the air elemental, and they had nice specific scenes of Spider-Man fighting those monsters, which I really liked. And then in the very end, where he took down Mysterio, again, very good. They had him in his comic book costume in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
with the globe,
Mm-hmm.
the cape, purple cape, and all that. But they didn't stick with that at the very end. That part got me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, in the comic books, Mysterio is like a special effects guy.
Yeah.
He's not really magic.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like what they did
He worked on movies, didn't he?
Yeah.
something like that. Or he wanted to get into movies, but he didn't. So
Yeah, and so what they did in the movies, they gave him like a motion capture suit, and so
Yeah.
all those drones were like projecting the suit onto him,
yeah.
which I thought was I kind of liked that.
Mm-hmm. And then, did you ever see how YouTube thought? I saw all these videos on YouTube of saying that the fire elemental was Molten Man from the comics.
Yes, technically, like Hydro Man, they're technically supposed to be Hydro Man, Molten Man, and whoever the air guy is. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Um,
because that's
Hydro Man, Molten Man. Yeah, that's. But they didn't stick with that.
no, they made. I feel like in the future they're probably gonna retcon that too and actually give Hydro Man and Molten Man.
Yeah. Because we were talking about cartoons earlier. I used to watch the Spider-Man cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
Called Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yep,
And
that's the best one.
yeah, Molten Man was one of the enemies in that, and because Molten Man's it's a rare villain, I think. So is Hydro Man.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're like the go-to ones.
Yeah.
They're usually like one-off episodes.
Mm-hmm. And then going into No Way Home, that was like the best Spider-Man movie I've ever seen.
Yeah,
You would
was.
agree, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that you had all three
Because
actors.
it was kind of like a Sinister Six versus 3 Spider-Man,
Yeah.
which I kind of liked.
It was a multiverse thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you had Tom Holland, Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire,
Yeah.
and all 3 Spider-Man fighting together as one was something I never thought would happen. And then you had all the villains from the previous movies too. From each universe, and it just played out so well. And then at the very end with the final fight, it was so good. Because you had Electro,
Yeah.
Doc Ock, and I think they had all the same. Was it Jamie Foxx that played Electro?
Yeah, they had all the same actors.
All the same actors.
Yeah. So what do you think about future Marvel stuff?
For future Marvel,
What do you think about Doctor Doom?
first of all, why did they cast Robert Downey Jr. as?
So people got sick of Kang.
Yeah.
What I think the worst thing they did was let King lose in Ant-Man 3.
Yeah.
I feel like that really like ruined it. It went downhill after that.
Because, I was shocked when they chose Robert Downey Jr. for Doctor Doom because he played Iron Man all those years.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows him as Iron Man.
Yeah.
No one can unsee him as Iron Man now. So, like, I don't know why they would. I mean, I agree that I think they should pick a well-known actor, someone to play maybe the Doctor Doom from the original Fantastic Four, with Chris Evans as Human Torch.
Oh, Nip Tuck guy.
Yeah.
He was from a show called Nip Tuck.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I know him from.
I don't know his name.
Yeah, I don't know his name either. But they wouldn't get him.
Yeah, they wouldn't get probably. Was there anyone else that played Doctor Doom? Well, there was.
That one got the really bad Fantastic Four movie.
The really awful one.
I forgot his name too.
Yeah.
But I feel like they did it because one, Robert Downey Jr. wants to come back because he's not really doing that much.
Yeah.
But he definitely doesn't want to do Iron Man anymore.
No.
So I feel like they gave him a villain where he's not like the main guy, but he's pretty prevalent.
Yeah. So are they making a Doctor Doom movie, or are they adding Doctor Doom as the next villain?
He's gonna, the next Avengers movie is called Doomsday.
Okay.
So he's gonna be the main person, and then they're gonna. What I've heard, they're gonna like do Battle World.
Yeah, like what heroes do you think? Because Captain America's, Chris.
Sam Wilson, Captain America, definitely gonna be in there.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, probably the Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yeah, and I think they're adding the X-Men in there too with the Fantastic Four.
I think the Fantastic Four will definitely be in there because it's Doctor Doom. Because I feel like Doctor Doom is going to be in the new Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, they'll have Fantastic Four, X-Men, and the Inhumans.
Oh, you think they're going to bring Inhumans back?
They hinted.
Did you ever see the Inhuman show?
I did, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, it was bad.
However, I think they hinted at it.
Because even Miss Marvel is technically an Inhuman, but now they made her a mutant. So
right.
I think they're getting rid of all Inhuman stuff.
Mm-hmm. And as long as they bring back the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, I'm cool with it.
I don't think you're gonna get all the X-Men. I think you probably get like 2 in the Avengers movies.
Like Wolverine and Deadpool.
Oh, you're definitely gonna get them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't. But I feel like maybe you might get Cyclops and maybe Jean Grey or Iceman.
Iceman, yeah. What about any of the New Mutants? Like Magic, Magma?
Probably not. I feel like they're gonna go explore the classic ones first. I think what MCU is gonna do is they're gonna make the old Marvel, the old X-Men movies, but better, like more comic accurate. I feel
Have you seen the New Mutants movie? I didn't see that.
I did not see that. No.
You didn't? Okay.
I just know it was supposed to be cooler, but then it just kept getting budget cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I heard Dark Phoenix didn't do well either.
Oh yeah, no.
That
looked bad.
Because it came out at the exact same time as Infinity War.
Did it? I don't.
Yeah.
I guess I don't even remember when it came out.
Yeah, it did. It came out pretty close, like around the same time, 2018, I think. Or 2017, somewhere around there. So yeah, that didn't work out very well. But yeah, I have hopes for Marvel in the future. I think that they're gonna bring in a lot of new characters.
What do you think about the new Captain America?
I'm pumped for that. Honestly, I really want to go see that.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford is starring in it.
Oh yeah, Red Hulk, baby.
Red Hulk, yeah. Fun fact. I have.
You met Harrison Ford?
Yes.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. Well, not in person.
Oh, okay.
So in 6th grade, we had an assignment where we had to write to a celebrity. I wrote to Harrison Ford, and I was the only one that got a reply.
He did not write to you.
He didn't. Well, he sent me 2 autographed pictures.
Oh my god.
I'm serious.
How much do you want for them? I'll give you $1,000 right now.
They're priceless, dude. I'm sorry.
Price. Oh my god.
They're. I can take a picture of them and send them to you though.
Okay.
They're. One of them is a picture of him as Han Solo, and the other as Indiana Jones.
So he didn't. Did he write a letter or did he say?
No, he just autographed 2 pictures and then sent them to me in the mail, and I still have them framed on my wall.
Damn.
That was like just by sheer luck.
Did you even ask for an autograph or anything?
No, I didn't ask for any. I just wrote him a very nice letter, telling him that, oh, you got to do the new Indiana Jones movie, man. Don't back out. And then he didn't, obviously.
So what was this, like 2008?
No, 2016. I wrote him the letter in 2016.
Oh yeah,
He responded to in the same year.
I forgot, and they took it forever on that Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, that the newest one actually came out last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. I'm really excited to see him play Red Hulk in the new Captain America. So then maybe he'll retire finally. He's like in his 80s now, getting up there.
I don't know. I think he's gonna go until he dies, probably.
Maybe. Good for him. Props to him for doing that. Yeah, and what was your favorite superhero game you've ever played, Marvel or DC?
I guess I don't play a lot of superhero games. I have played the Spider-Man one, the new Spider-Man one for PS5. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed that.
You enjoyed that? I played. I also played Spider-Man for PS5. I played the Xbox One, Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I played that one a lot, actually. That was fun. Yeah, that's where you battle Carnage at the end.
Oh yeah, nice. I guess the very first Spider-Man game I ever played was for Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2 tie-in video game.
Yeah,
that was pretty bad.
I've also played Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 and 3. I played Marvel Superhero Squad.
See, I'm not really into like Mortal Kombat games like that.
No, you're not?
Yeah, I'm not really into those.
Yeah, and I played Injustice 2, both Injustice 1 and Injustice 2. Both great games. They're combat, and they do have some Mortal Kombat characters in there, like Scorpion and Sub-Zero, Raiden. But yeah, and I don't think I played Iron Man VR too.
Oh yeah, was that cool?
That was cool, yeah. But other than that, I think that's pretty much all the games I've played. How are we doing on time?
I don't know. You're in charge of this. It's 1:46.
It's 1:46.
I probably got here around 1:15.
1:15. Okay. So it's been more than, yeah.
It's definitely been more than 20 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. So I thought our last topic for today, I thought we'd talk about is, we've done all this discussion about Marvel, DC, and all that stuff. What about, if you had to create your own comic book company, or your own Marvel, let's say, what would that be? What would the characters be like? What would the universe be like? Would it be a movie series, or would it be a comic series?
Oh, I thought you just come up. Well, I've always had a comic book idea. This is copyrighted. I've copyrighted this, so don't take this.
Yeah. Nobody take it, please.
It's kind of like, it's definitely like in the past, like Wild West, about a cowboy.
Okay.
But then he finds like an alien gun that kind of grabs onto him and can't leave. It's kind of like nanotech, and so he kind of comes out of his arm and he shoots people.
Nice.
and I feel like it's like a secret.
So he shoots people with just his fingers?
No, it's like
Oh.
it's like kind of like this thing that grabs on. It's like, but then it's like nanotechnology where then he can kind of like think of like things to create, and so he's like a cowboy. So all he thinks of is guns.
Yeah.
So he's always like just thinking of guns and.
Yeah.
But then it's like a secret invasion kind of thing. Like aliens are coming down, and he's just trying to figure out who's good, who's bad in the Wild West.
Do you think that would make a good movie series?
Um,
Or game series or anything like that?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it that much. I've always liked like the idea of having like it's being set in the past, but having like futuristic like technology and stuff come into it. I always like those kind of two, like mashing up.
True, yeah. And for me, like ever since I was little, I've always been coming up with superhero character ideas, all that stuff. And in elementary school, everyone else would sit down to color a picture. I would sit down and draw characters.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've always hoped that those would turn into something. And then I would,
Would you draw like man bat, man spider?
Yeah, kind of. And I would also, create like a lot of monsters, like lava monsters, ice monsters, stuff like that. And I've eventually started making my own kind of comic book cinematic universe thing. Just drawing all the characters out on a piece of paper as like one big team. And I even wrote one comic once.
Nice.
And
what is it called?
It was called Horseman. It's pretty lame.
Horseman.
It was a
for
hard...
a team for a superhero team.
No, it was one character.
Oh, okay.
Somebody who...
Let me guess. He was bitten by a horse and got the powers of a horse.
Something like that. It's been like 5 years. I don't remember. Yeah, but yeah, that's not going anywhere. That was just a kid. Came from my little kid mind.
I think those are called centaurs.
Yeah, probably. Centaurs, man horses. Yeah. Well, what do you... I think we're about ready to wrap up here.
Oh, I don't care. It's your podcast, dude.
Yeah.
Did you get everything you wanted? You want to talk about anything else?
Oh, yeah. We've been talking for an hour and 46 minutes.
That can't be right.
Oh, that can't be... Oh, did I read that? Oh.
I bet it's 46 minutes. We've been talking about 46 minutes.
Oh, yeah. 46 minutes. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Tyler, for coming on. I just wanted to talk about all this stuff. And thank you for coming on to my podcast, Masterminds of the Multiverse.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully you get an A.
Yes, hopefully I get an A. Thank you for tuning in to the Masterminds of the Multiverse podcast. We hope you learn more about the MCU, DC, or just superheroes in general. See you next time.